Hi, folks, and welcome to another edition of Points of Interest, our weekly, sometimes monthly Dronecast. I'm Gary.
I'm Justin.
And we're here to talk about some cool things that have happened. So get ready for the show. Let's lift off. Exploring the people, places, and technology in the growing drone industry. This is the Points of Interest Dronecast. Okay, we're back. Busy week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Month, week, couple weeks.
Between work, we had a little fun, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So we started off with Main Street with the VABA, that's the Virginia Aviation Business Administration, right? Our association. I always forget the AZ, which one it is, but it's one of those two. But we started out over there with a great event. Had NASA. They had the people with VIPC, which they talked about what's going on in the drone industry. A lot of guys sharing new technology with us. There were tons of booths. How many booths would you say was at that event?
Probably 60, 70.
Yeah. Some really cool technology. The governor and lieutenant governor showed up, and matter of fact, we got a picture of me actually having just a quick conversation. The governor was
stopped by the booth.
He stopped by the booth to see what I was doing, right? And we're kind of the odd man out of that one. We don't have any new technology to share with anybody, but we are unique, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely. We probably the smallest fish in the pond.
I would say so. Yes.
But on the same token, we're a better picture of probably our viewership. Those that are trying to do it, just one and two man operations out here in the state.
Absolutely.
Actually operating the drones.
What I call the white collar worker, in this business. And that's exactly what I said to the governor for just a moment. I said, yeah, we're the white collar guys. We're just trying to, or is it blue collar?
No, we're the blue collar guys.
Yeah, we're blue collar guys. And we try to do this in a way that, shows that you can make a living.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just a matter of getting out there and take a drone off the shelf. Now, these guys that were there were building these incredible drones that did all kinds of fancy things, but we, got to show what the other side looks like. Plus, you ran quite a bit with our first attempt to do an obstacle course, right?
Yeah, we ended up being the only people that were setting up anything to fly around. So we had the obstacle course and got to do a dry run with that. Yeah,
which was good because we really had a bigger thing planned for us, which was our winter fly-in, right?
Yeah, definitely. 2 weeks later?
Just about. Yeah, it was about 2 weeks later, and between snowstorms, actually.
Which ended up being that way.
Yeah.
And now another
one on top of us right now. Still snow outside on the ground as we speak. But we had a good time with that. We went over to the Tuckahoe Little League Sporting training center, right?
Yep.
It's close. And folks over there, TJ, great guy, and Lisa over there helped us get in there and use their property. They were very kind. We had to squeeze into the one or two available spots they have. During the wintertime, that place is packed all day long with people practicing baseball and teams getting some winter practice in. So we took a slot for Monday, President's Day, and we slipped in and did our thing. So talk about that.
So yeah, we ended up just right at 3 hours with literally kids on the field playing ball up until the minute they were ready to come off the field as we were building obstacles on the sidelines.
Right.
And then I think we had about 50 people ended up showing up.
Maybe a little more than 50.
A little over. All ages. We had plenty of folks that were there to fly their first drone. Kim Merzwa's mom showed up to fly with us.
I know. I got to actually help her with that.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I got to tell you, I didn't know it was her mom. I just thought,
that's what she said.
Yeah. This is a nice lady who wants to learn how to fly drones.
She volunteered to be first. Yeah. That's hilarious.
And so that was good fun.
Kids, other folks in the area that kind of have loomed in the background and do the same thing or touch on the same thing.
Sure.
A couple aerial photographers, at least one of which was also a pilot.
That's right.
So he does a lot of his work from the plane.
And don't forget those FPV guys, right?
And then we had a bunch of FPV guys show up, and they all set up their own obstacle course and definitely a little more experienced in their thing. So it was a wide variety of people. And
the fun with the FPV guys, we had brought we had 4 Neos there for kids to use or people who didn't have any experience. And we'll talk about the experience that we put on, but these are easy to fly, and they really can't hurt anybody, and you can't break them. Almost literally, you couldn't break them. But the FPV guys were all coming over saying, can we fly that? Can we fly that? They were really interested, and they didn't do well. I mean, really overall.
Well, the two flying methods are completely different.
Right. So they were really like, oh my gosh, how does this? It doesn't work like our rocket ships, which is so funny, because you'd think as fast as they fly and the amount of reaction time they have that this would be like just a child's play. But it turned out to be almost the opposite.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It's funny. But we had a great time with that. We had some trophies made. Matter of fact, I always have to shout out for B-Rad, again, B-Rad Alston, who is one of our partners in the whole event. He built these toppers. So we got our trophies from Crown Trophy. This is one of the small ones that we didn't give away. We gave away the big ones. We'll show some photos of the people who took those home. But this one was unfortunately for the NIST course, which you did such a great job of putting that together.
It is what it is.
And some people came over and looked at it, but nobody wanted to compete. So I guess that they were intimidated, maybe?
Maybe a little bit. I think a lot of people maybe that signed up in the beginning didn't necessarily even know what NIST was. They thought it was another race course or something.
Right.
So maybe we'll have to do a segue episode sometime into what NIST standards coursing and tests are, or their applications. I think some of the guys that are the professional firefighters and fly with them, they had a little more interest in it because they hadn't even seen some of the pieces that we put together.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe that's another episode idea, so we can kind of break down what NIST is, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology,
right? And
their drone course, as far as it's just a standardized way of both showing different movements on a drone and testing your efficiency at them.
Yeah, and the more you fly that, the more efficient you become. So when you get into a real scenario, then you can get under a car.
Muscle memory.
Right. So great stuff. I think next time we have like a little fly-in of any sort, we bring that regardless and give some of these other guys a chance to at least, instead of putting other things in front of them, like we had the simulators and we had the big course and they had their other FPV flying course. Would you take all that out of the way and just talk about NIST? I think for one, I think that's important because what people don't realize is, again, a lot of this stuff is like toys to some people, but the guys who fly for rescue and those type of things,
first responder,
yeah, they take this seriously, and practicing to become proficient is really, really important. You know, right?
I mean, and at the end of the day, that's, just like we were watching some footage of the guys practicing for swiftwater rescue.
Yeah.
Without practice, you don't know what happens when the time
comes. Right. Then you're in trouble. You're in over your head. You haven't had any real world type of scenarios. Hey, by the way, one of the guest stars of the event was the brand new Flip. Yes, indeed. I was really glad to get a hold of this and have it there at the show, although we didn't get much chance to fly it.
Yeah, no, I want to fly it some more.
So, but it's so cool. I just love the way that all kind of goes away like that, comes back out. The cool things about it that I've really impressed with, even with the props and everything, 249 grams, which makes it legal, right? The other weird thing, this got like a string type of cover, so you almost cannot get your fingers in there. And I don't want to do this on the show, but I've watched a guy who stuck his finger in there while it's running, and it immediately stops. That he had no cut, shows his finger. So it's obviously very safe. Picture quality.
The camera was amazing. That was the first thing I noticed when it took off.
It's every bit as good as the Mini 4. And
my Air 3, it's got the same sensor as my Air 3.
See?
So,
so now a whole new kind of format that's come along. We're really excited about that. Had a good time with that.
And it'll pair with the DJI mic.
That's what you were telling me.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. I saw, obviously the demo reel from DJI throws every feature it can do into the mix, right?
Right.
But I saw that one of the packages offers a DJI mic.
Right.
So I was like, what am I missing here?
So
and finally at the very end, there's some guys in a rock crawler, and they're in the rock crawler. They tap the microphone on their chest.
And this is outside shooting them. And I've done that before with the DJI mics where I was trying to shoot and I just turn the microphone on to record and then pair them up later. And the interesting thing about this drone, if you haven't seen it, right up on the front here is kind of a window, and that's where you can see all of those different modes and connection with the microphone is in this window. When things get paired up, you see it happen in that. And other than that, there are no sensors on this thing too. They do have a visual sensors.
It's got an infrared.
Right, looking out the front. Yep. And that's about it. So it's kind of unique in that way too. But we love it. It's going to be a good drone for us. We're going to buy probably some more of it as we do more of these things that we did this past week. And just to talk about that, anybody out there that's listening, if you ever need us to come do that for us, we've got this full obstacle course. It's got ladders. It's got the elevator. It's got a bunch of fly-throughs.
It's got a spinning obstacle.
A spinning obstacle, which was that was pretty tough on some guys, right?
Some of the guys had a hard time with it.
Right. So and we sped it up a little bit too for this event. We just decided after Main Street it was going about 1 mile an hour, and at the one we just did at Tuckahoe, I think we had it going about 6 miles an hour.
Okay.
So it was really right.
And it has a designated in and out. It's not just make it through the
right. Fly through the green, out through the red.
Yep.
If you didn't do it that way, you were penalized.
You're still wrong.
Yeah. So we gave away some stuff. Really want to thank a couple of big people who helped us out. First of all, giveaways. We got a Hollystone drone that we gave away. We also had 2 107 courses that we got from Pilot Institute. Thank you so much, guys. And we gave those away to 2 people who were really excited about getting them as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then we had a couple of caps and some shirts and
Some
stuff.
swag.
Some swag, yep. And the guys with the simulators, we want to thank so much the guys
Zephyr.
over there at Zephyr. Zephyr gave us 2 licensed simulators that kids could get on, or even adults, and just get themselves kind of, an understanding of up and down, left and right with just a controller, like a simple
Xbox or PlayStation
right,
controller.
right.
Yeah.
Working right off the PC. And so we had 2 of those set up, and that was a good time. And then once you kind of graduated past that, you could come in there, and we'd set you up with one of these, I say, easy to fly. The little Neos.
The little girl in 1 second, too, even after when she wasn't flying the drone, still went back to the simulator. She really seemed to enjoy just any kind of, if it was flying, she was game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. And the cool thing, I think her father was a droner as well.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
just listening to them talk. So that was fun. The good stuff. I think it was a great time. Again, want to thank everybody out there at Tuckahoe Sporting Center, Training Center. They were just fantastic. TSI, that's right. And they helped us out so much with getting in there, getting the facility. They want us back. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they've already written a wonderful email asking us to come back and do it again. So we're going to come back and do it again. And after talking to Julie Young with the Academy, the Aviation Academy, she suggests we do it in November, that's a better date for students.
Okay.
So we're going to probably move it forward to November as we get ready for next year. And we might do something back out there during the summertime, because even though it was a warm, cozy place on Monday, during the summertime, they don't have air conditioning. They have some fans, but it's still probably better than standing in the heat, right?
Yep.
So we'll look at that possibility throughout the year. Other fun stuff, we had... we had the trophies. We said the lanyards. So we had those lanyards that we had everybody get a lanyard with their logo, and just a fun, making it like it was a big time event, even though it was just us. So, and if you're corporate, you want us to come do something like that, we will be happy to come out with all those pieces and parts, set it up, and you can have a 2 hour.
And some drones.
Yeah, we bring the drones, so you don't have to have any drones. And we'll let your, group, it doesn't matter what kind of group, could be a church group, could be a corporate group, could be just a school group,
STEM groups.
STEM groups, of course, yeah. You just want to have a day full of fun and opportunity to experience droning, we can do that for you. We've got a package that we're glad to help you with. So that's that on that.
We could also take the NIST course out if you have any local
absolutely.
Fire departments, police departments, anything like that don't necessarily want to build one, put one together, but would like to give their guys the experience or go through it. That's one of the things me and not B-Rad, but other Brad talked about.
The other Brad, right.
For Powhatan.
Brad Hughes, right. Good guy, too. Glad to see him out there. Well, let's see. Let's talk about some upcoming news things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've heard some rumors again.
So the rumor mill is continuing on. It hasn't really stopped with the Mavic 4, of course.
Right.
So that just, we keep creeping on a hopeful release date.
And what is the dates?
They've squeaked to be, spring 2025.
Okay.
So
that means a couple of different,
Yeah, that covers a wide variety. Some have said
March to June. Is that spring?
Exactly, right? Like once the snow stops that's outside,
right.
That would be helpful to get us to spring. But,
True.
You'll obviously have an announcement first about it, and in that announcement, they'll give us a shelf date or sale date or expect delivery by date.
And it'll probably be the first ones we're going to have to start dealing with the tariff
Yeah, it'll definitely be subject to that. I guess depending if you've ordered anything that exists between now and then, you may incur that too. Like if you went and bought a Mavic 3 Pro now, you might be subject to that.
By the time
well.
it gets to the state,
Right?
they put
Yeah,
the tariff on top of it.
But yes, those will be the first ones that their entire lifespan of salehood would be underneath that. We'll definitely see that, which of course is going to mean at least 10-20% more
than
on the
what
retail
it was.
price.
So,
yeah.
And I think they talked around a $4,000 mark somewhere.
Somewhere in there, I saw something leaked that you could maybe, the $3,000, which of course is just going to be a
Just
remote,
one
a drone,
battery.
one battery.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But
Nobody should ever buy it that way.
Right. And anybody that's doing it, I don't know what remote they're going to pair with it.
Right.
You're probably looking to buy a better remote. And
Right.
so a package, a Fly More combo or whatever they verse it at, you're looking at about $4,000.
Nice. Okay.
And I think the Enterprise is somewhere in that 5 to 6, depending on
which one you get.
Enterprise equipment
Right,
package you pick. Yeah.
And the Enterprise, by the way, the Enterprise series, which we've all been using for the last many years, have been the 3s as well. They already have the 4s out. Those 4s are I think in stock in some places.
I know they're available for order. I don't know if they've taken delivery of any.
Okay.
I haven't necessarily seen that firsthand.
Sure.
But
Yeah, I was even offered by our good friend, Justin. He said, you don't want this 3. I'll hold on to it. I just bought a 3E, and he said, just let me keep this and wait for the 4 to come. And I couldn't wait.
yeah, no. And you're glad you didn't.
No, I
That
didn't.
3 speed is impressive,
I
but
love-
yeah, definitely.
I love a 3 compared to the Phantoms for both RTK work and any mapping work. It's a much better unit. But so I have one little news thing. I'm heading out of here, and I'm going to head down up to Stafford, Virginia. We met some of those crazy FPV guys, like we talked about
came to
before.
the event.
Who came to the event,
Yep.
and it's great. And that's, first of all, let me just say that's what these things are about. I want to find new people that meet each other. Trevon was another guy who came through who I'd never met
From
before.
DC.
From DC, cool guy. Look forward to doing stuff with him in the future. And what was the guy who brought the gates? The gentleman was great. I forget his name.
Scott.
But maybe Scott. Well, yeah. So our Scott brought some gates, but there's an older gentleman who brought a bunch of gates too.
Oh, I didn't know his
Yeah.
name. Yeah,
Yep.
I thought you meant the Scott.
So those guys brought their own stuff for the FPVs. But anyway, they apparently have get together for a lot of these little things with their little mini whoops, and they have one that they do at a brewery in Stafford.
Yep.
And so I'm going up there. And strangely enough, I thought, what time would that be? And I looked at it and it said 9. And I thought, 9 a.m. That seems early for what I would
brewery.
The brewery or FPV guys.
Yeah, probably both, right? Absolutely.
Right. So, but anyway, that's what time it starts. So I'm going up there on Sunday, going to hang out with them and talk a little bit. My new friend down there, Stan Johnson, who is the guy who is in charge of that stuff, and I met him at the event. So Stan will see you in just a couple days, and it'll be fun. And I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go to DC and maybe see a concert. Well, I am going to see a concert.
You are not, maybe gonna go see a concert
of my 80s music. That's that's showing my age again.
Yeah.
Not
Howard
that
your hair
Jones,
doesn't do that for you.
ABC. Has anybody ever heard of those guys? Probably not. But well, that's about it. I really want to thank you, Brad, Kim, everybody who kind of and Julio. It's all good, brother.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Shout out to Julio, and we won't say why, but it's okay, buddy.
But anyway.
And thank you.
No, listen, it was a blast. This is what it makes me happier than anything. It's like Christmas for me.
And I mean, I think the other part of it was even, just in some of the small conversations, especially Kim and I, obviously hanging out, or Merzwa, as I call her.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we're on what you would think is every Facebook group that has anything to do with drones between all of us in this area, then you meet somebody and it's like, every Saturday we fly drones around a brewery.
Right.
And there was another kid there who I won't call out by name. Not kid, young man.
Right.
Kid to this old man.
Sure.
That said, how fun it was to nerd out with everybody. Where, we would assume we're seeing as much of it as we can, but hey,
there's so much more out there.
Yeah,
we just have to
get
get the
the
word.
community, just get together.
As a matter of fact, I will just mention that too. On my website, iflydrones.com, I have an events page. And what we need to do, I've got a lot of the national event things that
Right.
I am able to kind of, easily find. But if you've got an event going on, matter of fact, the mini whoop thing should just be in there for the brewery every week. Just it comes up so that it says, here's an event that you might
You
want
can
to
go
attend.
fly drones.
Right.
Absolutely.
So if you've got something going on, contact me. It's easy to find me, Gary at iflydrones.com, and I will put your event on my page, and then that may become.
Or if you go to an event and have cool shots, send them
our
share
way, yeah, so we can share them on the show, or come be on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? And I'm going to take a camera down there and shoot some of a stand, so I'm going to bring that
You guys
back.
flying, of course.
For the next
Absolutely.
show, we will be showing you exactly what they're doing in the brewery. And remember, FAA says you can't drink
and fly.
So
Don't
you're
drink
going to
and
fly and drink.
Yep.
That's the order of the event.
Maybe that's why they fly at 9 a.m.
Yes.
So then get it out of the way
by
before it's
noon
time
or
to drink. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Bingo.
Well, I think that's going to about do it for us.
Yeah.
So listen, thanks a lot for watching. We look forward to getting together with more people soon. You got a great idea? Please send it to us here. And I'm Gary.
And I'm Justin.
And we thank you. Fly safe.